On this episode of Exactly How, you're going to get to meet the Real Estate Investor of the Year. We're going to break down her 6-month plan to financial freedom, and I'm going to show you how to make sure time and location never stop you from being successful as a real estate investor on this episode of Exactly How.
You're listening to the Exactly How podcast, where you'll hear the underground, closely guarded wealth-building secrets of successful people around the globe. Discover exactly how to improve your mental, physical, and financial health. Feel better, make more money, live, give, and prosper in today's exciting, fast-paced world filled with opportunity for those who know exactly how.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very special edition of the Connected Investors podcast and YouTube show, Exactly How. During this episode, you're going to discover exactly how to flip properties from Canada in the US. And I promise this translates even if you don't live in Canada, because a lot of people like to flip properties in other states, other cities, and it's just really important to understand virtual real estate investing. Now, what makes this Exactly How podcast and YouTube show very unique, this episode, is that we're actually talking with the Real Estate Investor of the Year, the People's Choice. At Connected Investors, we have nearly 1 million members who all came together, shared their stories, voted, and the individual we're bringing on was the winner because of her resilience and all of the challenges she had to overcome to become successful in real estate in a very short period of time in the US, living in another country. So that's why I'm so excited for you to learn from our guest. For those of you who are new, my name is Ross Hamilton, the CEO of ConnectedInvestors.com. And like I said, today we have the privilege to learn from a lady who was the Real Estate Investor of the Year. Prior to a career in real estate, she worked actually selling cell phones in Costco, was one of her jobs. But all of that changed when she got laid off and had to do something. She realized she couldn't rely on other people. That's how she found real estate. I'd like to introduce you to the one, the only Lianna Alcock. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and congratulations on winning Real Estate Investor of the Year.
Yeah, it's still surreal. I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of it, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and that's probably why your voice is a little bit
yeah, I've been screaming too much.
Oh my gosh, I won.
Yeah.
I get to go to the Connected Investors Funders and Flippers event. I'm getting all this free press, and we're going to talk
excited about. Yeah. I'm so excited to come to the event. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, fundersandflippers.com. It's happening in April right here at our headquarters in Wilmington, North Carolina. We're turning this into like a mega classroom for 4 days, helping real estate investors of all levels learn how to get to the next level. We're filling this room with private lenders, some of the biggest and most successful real estate investors, and it's an event like none other. So if you're signed up, congratulations. If not, visit fundersandflippers.com. There's only 100 people that are allowed to attend this event, 100 investor groups of 2. And most of the tickets are already sold, but visit fundersandflippers.com. There might still be a few left by the time this comes live. So we're so excited to have you come to our headquarters here.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So what is it like to kind of wear that crown now? For the entire year, you're going to have that crown.
Yeah. I mean, it's been pretty amazing. I've had quite a few people reach out to me and say that, my story has been inspiring. And that's really like my ultimate goal is if I can, help somebody, get past that fear of wanting to, take the jump and do it, then that's awesome. So it's been great to be able to share my story and let other people know that it's, if I can do it, they can, and just do it, because that's just what I did. I just did it, and I was scared. I didn't know what to think. My family still doesn't know what to think. They still are like, "Are you sure this is a thing?" But I just trusted in kind of my gut, and I just did it, and I'm so glad that I had. And I found, a passion for a lot of things I didn't think that I was into,
You've managed to do all of this, even though you're living in another country.
Right.
We'll talk about why you wanted to flip houses in the US rather than Canada in a second. And you're also a mother of 4.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. But I love it. I mean, I love being able to build relationships with people kind of anywhere. So I'm certainly like in my element when I'm doing it, and I never thought of myself as a, having my own business or being an entrepreneur or anything like that. So it took a little bit to get used to. But I love being home with my kids. So I can kind of have the best of both worlds. So it's been great.
So let me ask you literally the $1 million question. A lot of people that are brand new to real estate, can you actually do this? Starting out completely new with no connections, no money, no idea. I mean, can you actually do this? We've all seen infomercials on TV. You can make millions of dollars in real estate. It doesn't matter if you have a license. And some people look at that and say it's BS. And some people are like, you know what? Maybe you can. I mean, for someone who has done it, had to overcome all these obstacles from time to just location and international laws that most people don't even have to think about. I mean, can it be done?
Yeah, I definitely can. I mean, I do it every day. And yeah, it was scary. It was scary. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anybody that I'm working with. Right. But you definitely can. And if you just, stay consistent and my biggest thing was that I had somebody alongside me, pardon me, that was teaching me, right. I had a mentor that, who's now my partner, but, and I didn't know him neither. Right. I was putting my trust in him and, something just told me it was the right thing to do. But I think that's huge, especially if you don't know what you're doing, is find somebody that can teach you and help you, guide you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So I owe everything to him for, taking the trust in me, because he just said, I'll teach you, sure, I've been doing it, I'll teach you. Didn't ask questions, so if you can find someone good like that, then
there's a great I have a similar story as well, but I actually did. I'll make sure to put it in the show notes. I did a video about the different types of mentors, because there's mentors, there's coaches, there's sponsors, there's investors, there's all these different types of mentors there. But one of the best gifts that you can give to a mentor is to be successful.
Yeah. And that's all he's ever said to me too. He's like, it just makes me happy that you're successful. I've never even met him in person. I've never met anybody that I work with in person, let alone step foot inside the United States to do any of this. So, but it's pretty cool. If I had to do it over, I wouldn't change a single thing. I'd do it all over again in a heartbeat,
So let me ask you, that's very inspiring. And there's a lot of people on the line here that have been thinking about doing it for a long time. But prior to us hitting the go button on this show and podcast here, you had said you gave yourself a timeline. You said,
I did.
I got laid off of this job. I don't know what to do. I got 6 months to figure it out. Was that kind of the magic number?
Yeah, it was 6 months. I was on unemployment insurance, which is the government giving you money here when you lose your job. And I knew that I had 6 months of money that was going to help, and then I wasn't going to have any more money. So I said, I have to do something that has to be profitable, and I have to have a business in 6 months. So I think that's part of it, was what pushed me, because I knew I had 6 months comes, what am I going to do? I really want to go back to work and find another job. And I knew that I couldn't rely, after I got laid off, I couldn't rely on anyone but myself to figure it out. So definitely, I think setting goals and doing that type of thing will push you a little bit harder for sure. So, yeah.
So you had a goal. Did you write it down?
I did write it down. Yeah, I actually wrote it down. And I posted it on, it's on my computer. I have it in my phone every day. I do that. And I think the other part of it is mindset's huge, right? I started kind of dabbling with personal development stuff, a year or so before. And if my mind had been what it was, a couple years ago, I probably wouldn't be here, right? Because you think differently. So really being consistent and working on that, because it's not easy. We all have our little demons inside of us that talk to us, right? So that's a huge thing that I've stayed consistent with as well.
Well, that's great. Now this is really inspiring here, and I'm so excited for some of our people on the line. What we're going to do here over the next, over the rest of the show is we're going to break down exactly how Lianna, set a plan, got the plan into motion, and started executing on real estate and making really, really good money while still living at home with her kids, not having any connections, never even meeting anyone, and was still able to, cash checks, build up a bank account, build up a retirement, and now has a plan for the rest of her life that will echo throughout her family and her kids. And now her kids know someone who's doing it. So it brings into focus, this is generational wealth, everyone. Like once someone in your family has figured out real estate, like the future generations benefit so much. You get to be the uncle or the aunt over the fireplace that like, you know, set people's lives up. So it's really exciting. So let me just ask you, what made you decide to invest in the US rather than Canada?
Yeah, well, I originally wanted to do it in Canada, and I quickly realized that the laws are a lot different. The privacy laws here in British Columbia, we can't get information like you can in the States on, you know, foreclosures or probates or even people information, phone numbers. It's really difficult, and it's just not something that's done here.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, okay, well, I can't really do it here. Markets are a lot different, really expensive here. You know, millions of dollars for houses, and it's just a different world.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm sad because I wanted to do it here. I think you could maybe do it here if you had the correct language inside your contracts, but it'd be pretty difficult. It's not talked about.
Yeah.
Most people would be like, what's wholesaling? What is that? You know?
Yeah. Well, that's why you decided to virtually invest in the US. And, you know, Lianna said a few things here that we're going to touch on. She said, you can't find motivated sellers. The information on motivated sellers, whether it's probate, pre-foreclosure, vacant property, it doesn't exist in the same capacity here. There's certainly no user interface that just shows it all to you and just gives it all to you in one spot. What you're seeing here while I'm talking is our PiN software. This allows you to find all the motivated sellers in and around the United States. It doesn't work in Canada. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will for a very long time.
Probably not.
But what we're going to do for someone who's watching the show right now, if you visit exactlyhow.com, you can throw your name in the hat to actually win this software and start using it. So make sure to visit exactlyhow.com for the show notes, for everything we're going to talk about here on the line, and also your chance to win this $3,000 software. We're actually going to give it away, give last show's contestants a chance to win right now in the next 5 minutes. So before we do, you've used PiN before, and you've closed some deals with it, correct?
Yeah, I use it every day. Yeah, I love it. It's just the amount of what I love about it. It's just the amount of data that you can get, and if you know what you're like looking for, it's awesome. You know, to use it correctly, but and I love the fact that it's got multifamily in it as well, because we're starting to target more stuff with that, but I mean, it's super easy to use. I love it.
That's great. Well, we have version 5 already in the works. So by the time you get to the Funders and Flippers event, you'll be able to see version 5 of the software, which I wish I could show you guys now, but I just can't. I actually might get a non-disclosure signed with you and let you get early access to it to kind of give some feedback if you're in there using it every day, and especially because you're a real estate investor here, give you a head start for sure. So great. Yeah,
I love it.
Someone's going to win that for free here real shortly, but we're going to go ahead and talk about how you can implement essentially a 6-month plan to start flipping your way to financial freedom, no matter your background, your age, where you live. There's no excuse other than you just don't want it. And that's fine if you don't. You know, you can have the right message at the wrong time, right? So if nothing else, I want this just to echo in your head that this is real, and people are doing it when they have what Lianna said is the correct mindset. So I can't help you with your mindset. I can point you in the direction to get that help. And actually, since what helped you the most about your mindset? Is there any just one little tip you can kind of give?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I do is I just I started listening to lots of different podcasts on that and personal development. And that's kind of where I started reading books. That's where I started. And it's just, I think this whole business just comes down to consistency. You have to be consistent in everything you do, whether it's personal, business, you know, your mindset. If you're off on one day, then things just doesn't work, right? So just, that's my biggest takeaway is consistency is huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're not talking to sellers, you're not making any money, right? So
yeah. A lot of people, a mistake that I made back in the day a bunch was I would start looking for deals. And when I had one, I'd stop looking for them and I'd try to work that deal. And then that deal fell through and I had to start all over again. So it was this constant like start and stop. So consistency is definitely key. So we'll definitely talk about that. All right. Well, great. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the 3 steps that it takes really to start accelerating your business and have that 6-month financial transformation. Before we jumped on here, we broke it down into relationships, consistency, and follow through. So Lianna, if you wouldn't mind, can you just kind of share your strategy on relationships?
Yeah. So somebody told me something a long time ago that was, if you want to be successful, in whatever business you are, find someone that's successful and do everything that person's doing. So I took that kind of advice and I went on Facebook and I went into every possible Facebook group there is out there, I swear, on real estate investing. And I just followed and I watched and I listened and I asked questions and I built relationships by asking questions. And I followed someone that I thought, was successful. He's in Tampa and he does it virtually in Michigan. And then I kind of annoyed him for a little bit, actually. He stopped talking to me because I was just like asking him questions. And he actually eventually, I worked for him for about a week and then we both realized that I probably needed to be on my own. But I'm big on relationships. I think you can learn so much from each other and I think we all have to kind of work together. And so just ask questions. Like no question is silly, we've all been, me included, been there. I don't know everything. I still ask questions all the time, but for sure building relationships and providing value to other people as well, right? Because it's a big value exchange. If you're just going to take, no one's going to want to talk to you, right? But if you can provide some sort of value to other people and then they see you, progress and they're willing to help you. So I think it's huge. I think it's even with customers, or I call them customers, still clients, motivated sellers. I mean, it's all relationship building,
Yeah, absolutely. And, you said a lot of really, impactful things there really quickly. But what I want to touch on for some of the individuals listening is they're thinking, all right, I'm talking to a successful real estate investor. How could I provide value to this person? We touched on following through with their advice. If someone gives you advice, just responding, great, I did that. And here's what happened. Thank you so much.
Right.
That
Huge.
gives someone a little like dopamine push. Like they're like, totally. Great, I'm helping.
Yeah. I love that. I love when I can help somebody kind of like see the light or, make things, and then they come back and say, hey, thanks so much for that.
So follow through is a huge way to provide value. Also, as you're networking, making introductions, right? So I did the same thing you did at first. I'd go out there and I'd meet people and all of a sudden I'd meet this person and this person. I'm like, oh, they should know each other. And I'd do an introduction. I'd be like, hey, Lianna, this is a real estate investor in the market you work in. They're a mover and shaker. I think you guys could really do something together. And that was just a way to kind of exchange value in a way that, any way that I could.
Yeah. No, I do that as well. Same idea. Yeah, that's good. And I mean, other people, I think we all want to learn in this space and grow. And so if we can work together, everyone can work together, not against each other. That's huge. But yeah, definitely, follow through is big on anything, but people will respect you a little bit more, if you follow through with them and say, hey, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we touched base on some of the relationship aspects that are used to accelerate your real estate. And what I love about this is so often we talk about going to meetings, going to different events, but it's cool that you've been able to do so much virtually. Are there events in Canada? Do you ever attend any events other than the Funders and Flippers event that you're going to be attending? No?
No, I haven't.
You're going to work the room.
Oh, no, like so I said to your staff, I'm like, I just need to be in that room. I was like, cause I'm in my element, like it'll be awesome. But
Yeah.
no, there are like, kind of like RIA events in Vancouver, which is
Oh,
about
cool.
an hour and a half away. And people do investing here, but it's more of like, buy and hold investing, right? There's not flipping of houses. So there's those kind of events. And I know like out in Ontario, I think there's a little bit more investing, but
Yeah.
um, but yeah,
Let's,
you need a lot of money here to do it though.
yeah.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
we're not talking $40,000 houses. We're talking, in the millions. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, it is. And people are like, why would you ever want to sell a house? It's great to
Yeah,
hold,
right.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I don't want the
exactly.
money. I want the property. But for
Yeah.
those of you that are listening here and you visited funders and flippers and you're thinking about attending, we just talked about how important networking was and how important it is to get in the room with private lenders, with other movers and shakers, with educators. Because if you're stuck, it's one of two reasons: you either need to learn something, or you need to meet someone. That's
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
That's how you get off your plateau. That's how you get unstuck. And that's the type of event that we've put together here in Wilmington, North Carolina. If I could turn the camera around, we're right downtown, right across the street from the water. So after the, all the sessions, you'll be able to have a good time while you're in Wilmington here. All right.
That's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm
It
definitely
is.
excited.
We've never held an event before. People call me all the
Yeah.
time and they say, Russ, you're called Connected Investors. Why aren't you holding events? And I'm like, yeah, because I wanted to do something different, something special. I didn't want to just host a normal event. So now that we have all these relationships with these lenders and all of these funders and all these flippers, what I'm doing is the ultimate give back. I'm introducing all these guys to all these guys, all these girls to all these girls. So it's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, it's going to be. I agree.
Let's go ahead and talk about how you find deals.
How I find deals. Well, I obviously I use the PiN tool for sure, and
you were breaking up a little bit earlier. I don't know if it's going to come through here. So, what I heard you say is you log into PiN every day, and that's where you can see all of the data. But something you said in your interview that I want to touch on is you said that you tried a lot of other softwares.
I did. Yeah, actually.
Can you kind of like elaborate on that and just let us know why you decided to go with PiN, even though we're, because our data is, superior, we're more expensive. A lot of people go with like a cheap option that's just scraping data offline. It's
not worth it. It's
not worth it.
Yeah. And I literally have a spreadsheet of all the different tools that you can use, and all the different things that each tool kind of offers, right? And that's how I kind of broke it down. I'm a junkie for knowledge, and I need to know everything about everything. So once I put my spreadsheet together and went through everything and just realized that cost wasn't cost is always a thing, but I knew that the cheaper stuff, you're just not getting the best data, and the fact that you can do so much, and there's so many different types of filters that you can use inside of PiN, along with like the dashboard that's in there, which is great. And I love that when you export your spreadsheets in there, there's so much data on your spreadsheets. You won't get that for $50 a month. It's just not going to happen. And when I did my spreadsheet, it was obvious what tool that we would go for. It's got skip tracing that's right included inside of it. So that's just one less tool you have to use.
And expense, by the way, because that gets expensive quick.
So expensive. I didn't realize how much skip tracing could actually be until I started to do it. It's like,
especially because no matter what tool you use, you're going to get a lot of incorrect numbers.
Exactly.
So with PiN, we just give you all the skip tracing, but with other software, you're paying big bucks, big pennies, big quarters every time. And it's wrong, and you're mad. You just paid a quarter for a wrong number, and it adds up, and you do that 1,000 times.
It does. Yeah, it totally does. So that was the other big turning thing for us, that the skip tracing was like in there. It was like, oh, one more expense we don't have to pay, right? Because those little things add up, and so it's just, I couldn't see myself using any other tool. Like I said, I've tried every single one. And like, I don't think there isn't a tool I haven't tried. And this is just, that's where we landed. You know, it's where my spreadsheet told me to go, right? Because it was, I mean, it made sense. It just, everything was there. So
To me, it sounds like it made logical sense.
it did make a lot, yeah, totally logical. The money didn't matter. Like if it wouldn't have mattered if it was, you know, $5,000. It just made sense. So that's what we're going to do, you know?
All right. We're going to raise the price. That's good. All right. Well, really, and you know, this is an important lesson for a lot of people, because as a real estate investor, you have to look at price difference, right? Because it's not how much it costs you, it's how much it's going to make you.
Exactly. And so then at that point, it was like, you know, just think the deals that you can get out of there with all the data and the information. One deal can pay for your tool, you know, like
forever.
Yeah. Like it's.
And if you don't get one deal, it's because you're not doing it.
Right. You're just not doing it correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you
really
have PiN, if you have PiN and you're not necessarily utilizing it, come to Funders and Flippers. Sit down with us. When I show you PiN on the big screen and you get to see V5 before anyone else, and I show you the things that you can do, you're going to have some of those moments. We have real estate investors in Wilmington, North Carolina that get to work at a Connected Investors. And I'll sit down with them every now and then and just show them something. And they're like, I didn't know you could do that.
I know. There's probably so much stuff I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
So let's talk about consistency. And after we talk about consistency, I'm actually going to give away the PiN software. You can visit exactlyhow.com and you might win it as well. Why do you think consistency is so important in this world?
I mean, you have to be consistent with it. I mean, if you want results, you have to kind of do the same thing every time. I mean, I block off time in my calendar every day of what I'm doing. So I know that things are getting done. And you have to also remember that you're dealing with motivated sellers who aren't always, you know, in the right mindset. You know, they got some of them have some stressful stuff going on, and you have, you know, if you're wanting to help them, then you kind of have to be there consistently, you know, that they know they can trust you and lean on you. But the biggest thing is you have to be talking to sellers every day. If you want to be making money, you need to be talking to them. So it's just, you have to be consistent. You're not gonna just come in. I mean, you may, I guess, come in and get a deal like bam, right? But the majority of the time it doesn't work like that. You got to put the work into it. So if you're consistent at it, it's going to eventually pay off, you know? Yeah,
exactly. We do see members that can get deals done in 24 hours. They just start calling.
Yeah.
They got someone. Can happen. Yeah. They get the deal. Actually, as you were talking, I was looking for my text message string I have going with the seller. I'll be in there just like testing out new stuff. I'm like, let me just text this person real quick. Like I'll use my phone rather than the automation that I have set up with PiN. Yeah. And, you know, I'm going to be completely transparent. So people text back. They're like, how'd you get my number? Yeah. You know, so the cool thing is we have all the scripts and everything, exactly what to say. Yeah. The things not to say to someone when you see the list of pre-foreclosures, you don't say, hey, I know you're about to lose your house next week at 2:00.
Yeah. You gotta be respectful and, you know, I never tell them that I know it's in foreclosure. But yeah, you gotta be respectful. A lot of them are kind of just don't want to deal with it. So they don't know what to do. Right. So it's, I think, a lot of educating people on what they can and what they cannot do and what can and cannot happen. Sometimes you have to just have you know, they need someone to talk to, right? So it's a big part of it as well. So, yeah,
you know, I got I started investing in real estate at, 18, 19 years old, around 20, 22-ish. I was just knocking on doors. PiN didn't exist. I would knock on a door with a flyer in my hand and be like, I pretended I had a boss. I'd be like, my boss wanted me to come by and give you this flyer. And sometimes I'd get invited in and I'd sit down with someone who was, in their 50s, and they'd tell me their life. I learned so much just about the world and what could happen. But
that's the part I love about it. That's the part I love about it. I love that that real human connection with people, because they're real people, you know, and they're real life stuff. And we're there, you know, I look at every possibility as, I'm not going to buy your house, but like, you're going through something. So how can I fix that? How can I help you fix that problem? Or if I can't, then I'll find someone that can help you. Because to me, it's, yes, we all want to make money, but these people, some of them are just going through a really rough time. So if there's something I can do to help them, then that's the ultimate kind of goal for me anyways.
Yeah. So this is a business that you get to help people and make money and build awesome. A legacy for your, you know, for the future generations of your family. And it's a great place to invest your time, energy, and effort. And actually this person who's about to win right here, they listen to the Exactly How podcast. They're a member of Connected Investors. And actually what they do is actually comment on a lot of our videos. Nice. So earlier we were talking about how when someone's helping you, the best thing to do is to kind of let them know. If we're helping you, make sure to comment. Just say, Ross, thanks. I learned so much. Ross, I'm going to do this. Feel free to update me on your progress. Maybe we wind up building a random relationship through YouTube comments that leads to you coming here and us getting together and me introducing you to someone that you know, do a huge deal with, or whoever, you know, whatever could happen can happen if you put the time in. So please make sure to engage with us here. This person did a great job of engaging, and her name, walking away with a $3,000 package here, is Susie Walters. Susie.
Hey, Susie.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Our team will reach out to you, help you get set up, make sure you understand how to navigate the software. That's something we do for everyone who makes the investment in the program. People right here in the US, not that there's anything wrong with Canada, people right in the US give you a call and make sure you have your filters set up right so you get your deal notifications, make sure you understand how to use the software. We're here every day. We answer the phone, which is pretty rare for a software company, but we're definitely here to help you out. So congratulations, Susie. All right, let's talk about the final step here, and it's actually the most important, the follow through. Tell me a little bit about how you go about following through. You've built relationships. Your consistency is fantastic in calling motivated sellers. Now it's time to follow through. How do you fit that into your busy life?
Into my busy life, yeah. I mean, like I said, I put everything in my calendar, so it has to be there. It's not going to get done, right? But yeah, I think a lot of people have to know is most deals happen on the follow through. You're not going to get a hold of someone the first time and make a deal, right? It's all on the follow through. So you just really have to be consistent. If you're not, then someone else is just going to come right behind you and take that lead from you. You know, it's a busy time. So it's definitely, your deals are going to happen, you know, maybe the fourth or fifth time that you talk to somebody. So it's really important. I mean, saying any selling, that's your follow-up's key. You know, I even follow up after a deal is done, right? And, you know, how are things going, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I've always done that. I'd like to touch, and I like to keep touch with people, and you know, I treat them, I always say they're like my customers, or, but yeah, we've built a relationship from, you know, start to, and I want to kind of finish it and make sure everything's going good. So
that's where the referrals come from, by the way.
Yeah.
That's when this beautiful thing just drops from the sky. The deal just falls in your lap because you actually cared about someone, followed up with them, thought about them after you didn't need anything from them. And, you know, there's a great book that we're reading here at Connected Investors called Raving Fans. You can actually just go right on YouTube, and it's an 1.5 hour long audio. You can speed it up. By the way, if you want to go through these on YouTube quicker, I mean, I love doing 1.5x. Just run through it. And then go to exactlyhow.com and review the show notes, and you'll retain this information and start seeing opportunities and stop being scared and making the investments in the things you need to make investments in, and coming to the funders and flippers events, or, you know, more events than you have been, making those small daily commitments and following through.
Really what it's about. Yeah. That's what it's about. You know, it's, they're little tiny things you have to do every day, but they're really important, you know?
And they're easy. They're easy too.
Yeah, they're not hard. It's just, humans are weird, and we don't like to do work, you know? Like that's too much. We'll do it later, right? We just, we'll do it later. But you do it later, you're not going to make money because the market's so busy with people trying to do this. They're just going to come right behind you and
Yeah.
steal it from you. So, but
Well,
yeah.
From your days working at Costco, you know,
a long time ago.
If you didn't sell them, someone else would. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. I mean, that was a hustle job, right? It was, people would walk by, you want to buy a cell phone kind of thing. So, I mean, yeah, I've always been into that, you know, I got to hustle to make my money, but same idea, right? You still want to follow up with them, how they're liking their cell phone, you know, same idea.
yeah.
As 101.
Nobody does that. Nobody does that.
There's not. And that's something I learned a long time ago. And I just think it makes you stand out, you know, as, people remember when you do nice things for them.
There's not much traffic on the extra mile.
No, it's not. No.
You know?
Not. Yeah.
And that's really, if you go about life and your main, mission is just to always over deliver. Just over deliver on everything you do. You'll be amazed at how, how many opportunities kind of open up for you.
Yeah,
so,
that's kind of what happened with me. It was like all of a sudden, it's like someone's got to give, and then it was like the skies opened up, and all my hard work just kind of it paid off.
Yeah. We touched on this very briefly in the beginning, but I want to just underline it here. I asked Lianna if she wrote her goals down, and the reason I did is because when you're thinking of things, they're not real. The second that you write it down, you have taken something completely abstract and not real, and you have made it actually real. So that's why people always push to make sure you have I left my notebook back there. You make sure you have your notebook, you're writing things down, you're following through, you're doing those small things that add up to big success. So if you have a goal right now, write it down. You don't have paper, comment. Let us know. What is your 6-month goal? Let me know right now, and then follow back up with me. Oh, here you go. A journal right here every single day. And it's funny, Lianna, I actually have a box of these from when I first started investing in real estate. And it's so cool to see what I was doing, April 5th of, 2009. I can see the sellers I was following up with, and,
you can see like your growth though too. It's pretty cool. Like you can look at where you were to where you are now and the things you've done. It's pretty cool. I mean, that's what my mentor, my partner, he was watching a video we had done like a couple months ago, or like a couple months in, and he's like, just crazy from where you were then. It's only been a short time to where you are now, and he's like, you should go watch it. So I'm gonna go do that actually, and because it is crazy how much you learn and you grow, but it's cool. Definitely.
Great. So just a clarifying question for that I know some people are gonna have here. What markets do you operate in, and what made you choose those? Yeah,
so primarily it's Baltimore. The reason I chose Baltimore is because that's where my mentor did his work. I knew nothing. I knew nothing about it, but that's the reason we're there. And I also work in Florida as well with some other people that I've built relationships with, and I kind of have people everywhere though. I have a deal going on in Illinois right now. We're just waiting to close on, and I got people scattered everywhere. Just so we can do it,
Yeah. What was the last deal you did that you found with PiN?
That one was actually being rehabbed right now. Actually, it should be done today. Actually, tomorrow. It'll be on the market tomorrow. Actually, so yeah, it was someone started a rehab. It was just kind of a lucky thing that we had called it. It was a vacant property, and someone started it and couldn't finish it. Just over budgeted. And so we came in and helped him out. It was like, he's going to have to file bankruptcy and helped him out to get it, out of that. And now we'll sell it, and hopefully someone will have a really nice house at the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think your spread will be on that? Best case scenario.
50 or 55, I think.
50 or 55,000. You never visited the property.
No, I don't even think I saw the inside of it. Actually, I only know what the outside looks like. I've never seen the inside of it just until the other day, but it's already been renovated. So I didn't know what it looked like before.
Maybe I'll have my people pop a picture of the property up here so we can kind of bring some life to the story here.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only talked to the seller via email. I haven't talked to him on the phone, just back and forth. Obviously my people on the ground, they did. Yeah, everything. Yeah, it's basically done.
I think you have such a huge advantage living out of the US, out of your area, because you can't go down to that property.
Right.
You are forced to create systems.
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. And systems is huge. I've been learning from a lot of people. You have to have your systems and processes down. And it definitely, if I don't have all of them down yet. I'm still working. It's a big job to create all your systems and processes for every
it changes every 6 months.
Yeah, because everything changes. But yeah, you definitely have to have your systems and processes.
Eventually you'll have a system for creating systems.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you're there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's really down to the relationships I built with, title companies and realtors, and that's really what it is. I've just found really good people and stayed in contact with them, and it's not just business, right? I talk personal stuff with people as well, like how are your kids, and so yeah, it's been working really well. I wouldn't change it for the world. I'd do this again in a heartbeat, even though everyone thought I was crazy doing it. What are you talking about?
That's really the best though. It's like to do something that's already been done that everyone says, oh yeah, you could easily do that. That's no fun.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. And I think it's cool. A lot of people that I talk to in the United States, they're like, what? You're in Canada? That is awesome. Right. And I'm like, a lot of people don't pick up the phone when I call, so I have to kind of mask my number. That's one thing. They think I'm scamming them, but a lot of other investors and stuff think it's awesome. And so that's cool. But I just ultimately want to help. If anybody thinks that they, are nervous or scared to do this, like I was too, but just do it. Just let it be your vehicle to take you where you want to go, because that's what real estate is. Yeah. It's opened up so many different possibilities for me. Much.
What really happened is you turned a very potentially, financially destructive circumstance, and turned it into something that's positive. And there's a form of philosophy that I study. It's called Stoicism, and really cool. Look it up. It's essentially it's almost like the operating system for an entrepreneur. But one thing I just read this morning is whenever there's something that's challenging in front of you, let's say you lost your job, ask yourself, how can I make this the best thing that ever happened to me?
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. It was like, I can't feel sorry for myself, because that's kind of where you go to. Us as humans go there first, right? But it was like, no, I can't do that. Like I have 4 kids that rely on me. I can't lose my house. Like I was a typical like motivated seller, right? That was going to be me, and I didn't have a choice. It's like I got to do what I got to do. And again, if my mind hadn't been in the right place, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now. Like it just wouldn't have happened. And to have the people that have helped me along the way, right? As I haven't done this all on my own. I owe everything to Todd, because he's graciously just said, I'll teach you, and didn't ask for anything from it. So I owe a lot to him for, and he's still stuck beside me, we still work together. That wasn't planned. We worked really well together, and so we're going with it. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you sharing your story with all the Connected Investors members, and just being so, just completely honest and transparent on where you came from and where you are, and where you're going. 2020 is looking pretty good for you, starting out with getting a lot of deals and Real Estate Investor of the Year. Now you can't stop, because you're Real Estate Investor of the Year.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I would stop though. I love it. It's just been awesome.
Well, after we do the 10th one, we'll invite you to the reunion. As well.
That'd be awesome.
Where are they now?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm excited to share with my kids and stuff though, like leave something for them to choose if they want to do it, or just educating people, and so many doors that get opened when you get exposed to this. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, do you have time for the rapid fire section of the podcast here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And before we get into this, if you're listening to this on a podcast, make sure to go to our YouTube channel. We've shown you some things already that you can't really experience if you're just listening. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a review. Give us a thumbs up. Your interaction really is what drives us to spend all the time kind of putting this together. We're all busy, but we love giving back. And I haven't mentioned this nearly enough. In the description of the YouTube video here, we have a lot of free gifts. I'm actually going to grab one right here. I'm going to give you my book right here, The Inside Guide to Funding Real Estate Investments.
Awesome.
I got paid a lot of money to write this book. It isn't a self-published book. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's a very comprehensive guide on funding investment real estate. You can get it for free. I don't even want your email address. Just get it, use it, give us a comment. We'll call it even. And take a look at the information in the description of the YouTube video. That's where we pack it with surprises and stuff for you. So rapid fire section time. Here we go. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
8.
Get up early or stay up late?
Get up early.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
Like 4 or 5.
Favorite or most recent book you read?
Oh God, I can't even think about the last book I read. I don't read, I listen to podcasts. You know, that book, I just came to me and I lost it. Robert Kiyosaki's book, what's it called?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
That's that one. I'm like, what is this called?
Yeah. If you could be any superhero, who would it be?
Catwoman.
Awesome. First time I've heard that. Yeah, that's fun. What is something everyone should do less of?
Watch TV.
What is something everyone should do more of?
Learn anything and everything they can.
Bitcoin, bang or bust?
Bust.
And will people visit Mars in your lifetime?
I don't think so.
All right. Thank you so very much for jumping on the line with us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And for everyone who is still with us, you made it to the end of the show, which means you were able to finish what you started. So you found some good value. Exactly. It's a rare talent set these days.
It is.
In the age of beeps and Facebooks and friend requests and all the stuff, all the emails Connected Investors is sending you, to be able to actually sit there and focus on something all the way to the end. So that means you found value in this. Please help us out and other people just by giving us a thumbs up, a comment, a like, a share. It's don't think someone else is going to do it. I need to make sure that you do it, because the more comments we get, the higher this stuff shows up in the YouTube search algorithms, which helps other people find good information. So if you found value in it, please go ahead and share it. And thanks for being part of connectedinvestors.com. I'll see you on the inside.
The Connected Investors app connects you with investors, notifies you of available properties, helps locate cash buyers, and secure private funding to close deals. Set up in seconds to become a member of the Connected Investors social network. Now you can scroll through your main feed to find cash buyers, see investment properties not available to the general public, and network with investors by adding your own comments to a thread to keep the conversation going. The Control Center is your connection to add properties to sell, start new discussions, connect with local investors, and even find private funding. The Notifications tab will keep you alerted to new investment properties and offers. You'll also find new friend requests to connect directly with the community to build your network. From the property marketplace, you'll be able to find, favorite, and make offers on investment properties. Download Connected Investors today to find, figure, fund, and flip investment properties on the go.